Mr. Bramble. You're a sleepy kitty. How about you, Mr. Crow Baby? This lighting is not doing anything for you. Oh man, this is better? This is better?
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelley. I'm a freelance book editor and a science fiction and fantasy writer. Welcome to my first weekly writing vlog in a very long time. I've decided for the month of June that I want to film weekly writing vlogs just because I have a lot of things going on and I'm feeling like very overwhelmed, and I feel like these vlogs will keep me accountable. I also haven't spoken to a camera in a while, so I'm like a little camera shy, and I have the windows completely open, so maybe it's loud, and I got tanned, and I feel like my personal color is not working because it doesn't matter. We're just gonna keep vlogging. So I have a lot to do for this month. For the month of June, I have 2 client projects that I'm working on. They actually both start today. Today is Monday, May 29th. And one of them is due tomorrow. I'm actually almost done with that, so I'm just gonna read it again and write up my notes, send it off tomorrow, and then I have a proofread that is due next, I forgot what date, but okay, I'll get it done. I actually love doing proofreads, they're really fun. Aside from my own editing business, I'm also the online editor at Augur Magazine, and we are wrapping up issue 6.1, so I don't have too much work on my side because I'm not involved in the copy editing or proofreading or typesetting nearly as much as the developmental editing and line editing. But because we're wrapping up 6.1, we are starting the slush reading for 6.2. So by the time you're watching this, general submissions for Augur 6.2 are closed. But if you are a BIPOC writer or if you're queer or disabled, I believe you have until the 15th of June to submit. So I have to slush read. I have to read, I think, like 80 to 85 pieces. I actually don't remember, and I'm on 3. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do. And for my own writing, I have to finish draft 1 of Mia, which is my YA fantasy, by the end of this month because I'm going on a writing retreat with the famous Maggie Steve Otter in July, and I was reading, you know, the writing retreat details, and I believe I will be having like one-on-one sessions with her. So I cannot have a terrible draft 2, okay? If you guys missed my last writing, not my last one, the one where I finished my book, I was talking about the lore of the story and that I was having a lot of difficulty figuring out like the lore. I don't know how else to describe it except lore. Like how in Harry Potter, the lore is that this one child, there's a prophecy around him, right? Okay, maybe I don't know the lore of Harry Potter that well. Maybe I don't know the lore of anything that well because I don't friggin' read fantasy, which I need to. Anyway, I figured out the lore actually. It was like so stupid because I was taking a bus from Denver to a ski resort that I stayed at, which is not a ski resort, you know, at this time because it's the spring. It was like a 2.5 van ride, and I was procrastinating on like brainstorming this lore because like it was completely messed up in draft 1. I don't know if what I'm saying even makes sense. I was just like, okay, I have 2.5 hours to kill, like I can't type. It was like a van, I can't like really type or do work like in a car. So I just closed my eyes and literally brainstormed for a good 10 to 15 minutes, and I figured it out like literally right away, which is annoying because I could have just like not procrastinated and just like did it. Anyway, I figured out the lore and I started draft 2 already. I'm planning on working on 3 chapters this week and next week, and then 4 chapters until I finish the end of Act 1, which I have 13 chapters in Act 1. Is this making any sense? I don't know. I forgot how to vlog. Essentially, I'm using Google Docs and I copy and paste, like I paste the entire chapter into this new folder and I'm doing changes directly. So I don't have them side by side. I just kind of like edit within that document, if that makes sense. That's the way I do it for my short fiction, and that's just the way I go about second drafts. Second drafts are definitely the hardest. Even for my short fiction, I think it's the worst because you really have to know what's going on. So I'm working on chapter 3 right now. I work out of order because it helps me understand what the scene wants inherently without me being like biased. I don't know what the word is, but it works better for me, and I do that with my short fiction as well. So I'm working on chapter 3 right now, and even before I started chapter 3, I did so much world building, like even before I started, because I needed to know what was going on. I had like placeholders for country names, I had placeholders for like literally everything, so it took some time, like world build. I'm just like, oh god, okay, I could talk a lot about this, but I feel like this intro is gonna be long. You know what, I'm just gonna keep talking, I don't care. My problem with Mia, and something that I'm recognizing, is that this book is not a good representation of what I write, like period. I don't write fantasy and I don't write YA, and there's a part of me that thinks I outgrew the story, because this is a story I think I would have loved reading when I was a kid. I thought of this idea almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago maybe, and for some reason my tastes just have changed so much and I've grown so much as a person that I feel like it's only now that I'm catching up to that idea, but I feel like this idea is not very me anymore. And because I love this idea so much, I'm gonna continue pursuing it. But what I think, and maybe I'm overthinking this, but like if I were to get an agent, if I were to sell this book, big ifs, you know, big ifs, I would be afraid of my audience or whoever I'm selling this to want me to write more books like Mia, which is a no. I'm never writing a YA fantasy again, like I'm telling you right now. I don't even think I'm gonna write a fantasy again. I think I'm actually gonna be shifting away from fantasy into just writing sci-fi. Pretty much, I'm gonna work on Mia until that writing retreat with Maggie Stiefvater, and during the writing retreat, or I guess after, I'm gonna evaluate again whether or not this is a book I want to pursue, because I don't read enough YA fantasy. I don't want to write any more YA fantasy. So even though I love this book and I love this idea, I just don't know if this is the right book I should be pursuing, you know? I think it's Leigh Bardugo actually. She wrote Ninth House first, and then she wrote her, oh my god, what's it called again? Shadow and Bone series. But now like Ninth House is getting published like way after the fact. I kind of want that with Mia if I can choose. I would like my sci-fi novels to be out in the world first and then have this like YA fantasy come in. I think that's just the best path. Anyway, I'm kind of like ranting now. So for tonight, I'm gonna mostly focus on the 2 client projects I have, and I will probably update sparsely throughout this week, but we'll see. Same day, it's almost 9. I don't know why it looks so bright outside, but Toronto summers are fantastic. Anyway, I am pretty much done with one of my clients' short story. This is the one that is due tomorrow. I'm just gonna read it over again tomorrow. I like to like read these editorial letters like over and over and over again. It's pretty bad, but I do it like so often. Oh, okay, I didn't realize how loud like my clip was in the beginning. I'm so sorry. My door is still open, so it's still as loud. But I forgot to say, I got a really cool email maybe a week ago now, or not a week ago, at least like 3 or 4 days ago, about a short story. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to jinx it, but I also like want to talk about it. If you watched my last vlog, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I actually have 2 things on hold right now. Either they're in a short list or a long list, like I don't really know, but they're just on hold for publication. That doesn't sound right. They're on hold. Okay, they're just on hold. I'm trying not to like get my hopes up, because there is a huge chance that both of these things will just like completely fall through, because that's the nature of publication. But I'm hoping to hear back soon. I think we will hear back from both of them like throughout this week, because one of them, they're both like May calls, if you will. I don't know how much I want to say, but like one of them closes in like at the end of May, and that's on Wednesday, so I'll probably hear back like, I don't know, you know what, I don't know, but I think, okay, I'm not even making sense. I think I will hear back from at least one. I don't want to go into the details of why I think that is, but I just think that is. Oh man.
Look at Crow Baby's leggy. His leggy sticking out. Cute. Cute.
I think this is the extent of me getting ready for today. It's Tuesday, the next day. It's May 30th. It's almost 8:30. I got up like 2 hours ago hoping to get my proofread, like make some progress, because I didn't get to it last night. But I ended up just cleaning up the house and unpacking. I actually hadn't unpacked. I got back Monday morning at like 12:30. and I went to bed at like 2. And obviously I didn't unpack last night because I was doing that short story. Anyway, we are going to start the proofread now. I also got some news for Augur. I don't know why I said news. It wasn't news. I just got a ping that the copy edits are ready for one of my authors, so I'm gonna coordinate that. And I am doing not an interview, but I'm chatting with new members, potential new members, or maybe they're already hired. I don't know. Augur was looking for, I think, 2 fiction editors, and I think we are hiring 2 plus 1 assistant. I don't know the logistical details, but I'm having a chat with the new members tomorrow. Yes, at 7:30. I don't think I need to prepare anything. I think I'm just chatting, but I'll ping the lead and ask about that. So that's very exciting. I love being a part of Augur. Honestly, like, I think Augur has made me the better writer, made me the better editor. Yeah, I'm gonna work on the proofread now, answer some Augur Slack messages, coordinate with my author. We're gonna start my book on Thursday, and I'm gonna work on it Thursday and Friday. I'm the type of person that I need like to completely immerse myself in a thing. I can't like go back and forth, so it doesn't work where I like try to do 30 minutes on proofreading and 30 minutes on my novel. Like, that doesn't work for me. So yeah, I'll check back tomorrow. Oh my god, Bramble is pawing at one of the legs of the tripods. Okay, so I think all the clips are gonna be me sitting here, and I'm gonna get ready tomorrow. It's still too early to get ready. It's not even 7:30 yet. Okay, it's almost 7:30. I've been trying to build better habits for the summer. I love sleeping, but the sun, I'm trying to take advantage of the sun. Okay, I'm not awake yet either. Also, this cold brew tastes so good. I usually make my own coffee, but this one time I like watched some YouTuber make cold brew, like bought the cold brew bottle from Starbucks. Definitely not awake yet. I am trying to like clean up the first thing I do in the morning. Oh my god, I don't know if you can see all the tiny fur, but yeah, I don't think I've actually said it like legitimately, but I am legitimately allergic to cats, to my cats, to all types of animals. I believe I developed this allergy like last year, but I didn't get tested until this year, and that's why my balcony door is also always open. I find that it's just horrible for me. I'm like, if my door is closed and I'm just like stuffy inside, and I only have this one door because I live in a small apartment. It's a studio. Anyway, it's time to work. It's 7:30. I'm gonna work on the proofread. I didn't get too far into it because things are busy, dude. Like, I'm not just saying, like, I don't know how anyone does it, because I feel like I can't go faster than my pace. I work a full-time job, so I can only do my own stuff like right now, like in the morning or like after work. But I find that like after work, it's also like a hanging out time. Like, you hang out with your friends after work. So I'm trying to like push things in the morning. But yeah, I like finished work, worked out, made myself dinner, cleaned up, took like a 30-minute break, and next thing I knew it was like 7:30. And I was like, wow, I literally have like 2 hours to work on stuff before I go to bed. I try to sleep at around 10. No one cares. I don't care. I don't know why I'm saying this. I do have my Augur chats tonight. It's only with one person. I think it'll be about 30 minutes. I'm gonna work on the proof like before and after. And I had like another update. I had 2. I kind of want to do work. I don't want to talk, but these aren't writing updates because I haven't written anything. These are editing updates. So one of my updates is that I have been followed by indie pages. So the indie pages follow me on Instagram. This is for BIPOC writers looking for BIPOC freelancers to work on their story. And I thought that was really cool. I signed up to be a part of their listing. If you are a self-published author or you are looking into self-publishing, I recommend that resource. And I had another editing news. I'm not too sure what the details are yet. I can check my Slack. But I will be, I think, maybe guest editing for Room Magazine. I don't think that's correct. What's the official thing? Let me check. So seems like I'll be reading recommended submissions and also editing some of the pieces. I don't have too many details yet, but I'll have to look into that. But that's really exciting. I wanted to be a part of this because, you know, I love editing and I want that experience. So yeah, I'm still asleep. Oh my god. No news on the writing front. I have no idea what's going on with those submissions, and I'm like not hopeful. I am not hopeful. I really want one of them. I really want them so bad. I think it fits so perfectly. And the magazine that has one of my pieces in the hole, they are a award-winning science fiction magazine, so let's get working. I start work in like an hour and 30, so I have that much time to proofread. I will update you guys tomorrow night, I think, because I'm tired of looking like this in the morning. I'll be more ready tomorrow. Hello. I am just always sitting in this chair. So it's Thursday, it's a little bit after 5, and I'm in a completely different mood now. I was like doing fine in the morning. I wrote in the morning. I'm like totally low energy, having a it's one of those days where I just like really dislike working in a corporate environment, and I'm trying not to let it get to me personally. Like I want to really separate my corporate work life from my personal life, except it just creeps up so much, and it's just one of those days. So I'm sorry, this was not how I intended this day to go, except I can't control other people's actions. I guess I can control my own emotions, right? I don't know where to start. I'm like scatterbrained right now. My oven is currently preheating. I'm gonna make a frozen pizza because I don't feel like being a person today. And I quickly want to talk about how I'm going through draft 2. So draft 2 is seriously the hardest for me. I talked about this on Monday. I just have so many issues with draft 2 because you kind of really have to figure out what's going on. So I have a style sheet. Well, I'm calling a style sheet. It is what I use for copy editing. A list of words to make sure that it's consistent, like country names, character names, if you spell things differently, etc. Like different languages, you will have like the list of the different words in that languages. Anyway, so I started a style sheet for myself because I needed to figure out like country names, and I also pulled up my Campfire project for Mia. On Campfire, you can kind of world build and organize your notes. I had the world map opened, and I was like actually figuring out what the places will actually be called and where they fit on the map. I ended up pulling up Google Maps and examining our world and seeing how our world can not necessarily parallel the other world, but to like my fictional world, but to see some common elements. So for example, I looked up cities. For what I looked up, like the 3 cities I looked up, they were all by the water, which I thought was really interesting. So I wasn't gonna put my city like in the middle of the land mass. I put it like towards the edge. So stuff like that. I was doing stuff like that this morning. I'm still working on chapter 3. Chapter 3 has 2 scenes. The first scene I finished this morning, and I'm working on the second scene. I had deleted some words in the second scene that I want to write something else that can make it transition better into the 4th chapter. So that's what I am planning on working on tonight. I also want to do like a quick line edit after this. Also, I have a change of plans. So I was gonna work tomorrow on this book as well, but I decided to go out last night. Last night I decided to go out on Friday. There is a book launch of 2 anthologies. One is the Journey Stories. I forgot the actual Journey Awards. This is Best of Canada's top Black writers. I think that anthology is made up of a really good friend of mine, who I never met in real life, so I'm gonna meet her tomorrow. I'm really excited. Therese, she is the reason why Snail Mail is out in the world. I credit it to her because I had a lot of like poetry doubts, and I spoke to her and then she like made me feel a lot better. So I'm gonna go there to support her because she's part of that anthology. And then that launch is also celebrating the Indigenous Voices Award, and there's also an anthology for the winners. I'm gonna go to that tomorrow, probably grab drinks with Augur people. So this is all to say that my plans to write tomorrow is not happening, but that's fine. I think I'll write in the morning. I'm still gonna do my morning routine, and the proof is going just fine. I don't think I'm behind, but I could probably work on it more. It's fine. I'm gonna get it done for sure. It's just that what's the balance I want to strike for this week, because I haven't worked on the book really this week. So yeah, that's the plan. And I think after I eat, I might just like set up in bed because I feel a little depressy, but I'm gonna try not to let it get to me. I want to completely finish chapter 3 today, and if I have time, I'm gonna go to chapter 1. I like to work out of order. I think I mentioned this on Monday, so I can really dive deep into the chapter and examine what the chapter is and what it wants without being biased by the other chapters, you know, because it should also not necessarily like stand alone, but it should also, you know, read like it stands alone. If that makes sense. And as I'm waiting for my oven to preheat, I want to answer a quick question that I got on my Instagram DM. Someone DM'd me how I started becoming an editor and etc. It's funny because I actually looked up this question like last week. I looked up videos on other editors answering this question, because the truth is, like, I'm not in it fully. I can't even say I do it part-time. I don't make a lot of money from doing this right now. It's something that I'm trying to build up, and from what I read a lot from just reading my own stuff on freelance and like looking at videos, it does take a while to build up. So if you were to start out, I would say just like do it ASAP, because it takes a while to start out. My goal is to accept as many clients as I can, and I am trying to do a lot of social marketing. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not really in it, even though it might be perceived that way. But how did I get started? So I guess that's the real question. Like I really believe I'm still starting, but because like I think the growth is like this, or maybe even more like a steady growth upwards. I knew I wanted to do freelance editing since I kind of like learned about it, and I just started my website because I had this YouTube channel. I asked other writers to send me their manuscripts for me to do a free edit for them. So I did about 4 of those, and I built up experience by doing those free edits. Oh, sorry, I would say, sorry, I forgot. Before I offered these free edits, I did take a course. I took the ACES Pointer course. I forgot what it's called. I'll put it somewhere up here. And that one was more focused on copy editing. I think someone also asked me whether that was a good course to invest in. In my opinion, you know, there's nothing wrong with learning more things, especially when it comes to like the English language and grammar, but I found that that course was more aimed for journalists. So a lot of the examples that I learned were from like news articles. So it is a little bit different from, you know, fiction editing, but of course like grammar rules are the same throughout. So I took that course, and then while I was doing my free edits, I was also taking the EFA line editing course, which I actually did not like that class at all. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it for the amount I paid for. I paid like $300 or something. It was way too much for what I was learning. And I saw a call for an editor position at Augur Magazine. I applied for that role and I got it. So because of Augur, I felt like my experience like shot up again. Now I'm doing social marketing because now I feel like I'm super confident in my skills and I'm comfortable in all kinds of genres. Does this make sense? This makes sense. So I find that it's really hard. Just in general, it's really hard. So if you were to start it, I would say start it ASAP. I will have a better answer for you, I guess, like when I'm like truly in it. Because right now, as I mentioned, I don't make a lot of money from doing this. It's totally a casual job. Oh, my oven's done preheating and I'm almost done talking anyway. So yeah, do a lot of research on social marketing. I think that's like the biggest thing right now. Build your value, get experience. I honestly don't know what I would have done without this YouTube channel, because my first clients I did for free, I found them on YouTube. I'm sure there are other ways though, but yeah, you're gonna have to research. You're gonna have to like do your own. This is not how to. This is not how to. This is just how I'm trying to build it out, build it up, build my. I can't speak. I'm tired. I need to eat. So I think that's gonna be it for today's portion. Sorry. And tomorrow I don't think I'm gonna vlog. Maybe I'll try to vlog in the morning if I'm feeling up for it, but I don't think that will happen. And then we'll go to the launch party.
Thank you also to my friends in advance for taking photos and video. Shout out to my twin, Kelly. I'm so excited for all your wonderful poetry. Poetry now, your poetry in the future.
Can't wait for more of yours.
Yes, of course, of course.
Sweet wine with my eyes closed. I need a breather. Got lost in the B-roll.
All right, cheers.
Wind blows.